One thing I've learned when you work in an area and people don't know how to deal with the truth, they like to let you go. Today, I'm no longer working at a restaurant because apparently they felt like I was too much. The truth of the matter is the fact that this is it. You gotta communicate. If there's an issue, you have to state what the issue is so it can be fixed. If you don't want it to be fixed, that's on you and the God that you serve. Nobody is gonna hold you to the cross if that's what you want to do. But my problem with a lot of places of employment and just employment in general, we're so freaking sensitive, but we always tell everybody when we get a job, like right after college or high school, and get a career, that you have to be okay, and that you have to be willing to be a team player and all that other stuff. I'm not gonna lie for nobody. But you can't sit there and tell me that I had issues with two waitresses who were lazy, who never did anything, but sit there and talk about their boyfriends. I'm not going to sit there and do that. It's not only disrespectful, but you guys are nasty. I never not once saw you wash your hands. Twice. The fact that you sat there when you first met me, wiped your nose, and gave me a handshake let me knew that it wasn't going to be a situation where it was right. Then when we have a heart-to-heart conversation, instead of you saying you're sorry, you basically say, I'm not trying to talk to you forever and ever and ever. And then gonna pull the you think we're racist card. No. Only time a person pulls that card is when it actually happens. You see what I'm saying? This is not a case where you, oh, this person's being racist against black people, da da da. No, it's not that. You gotta know the difference. When somebody's hating you for the race, it's usually because you're the only person that's that color, and they just don't like you, period. They wouldn't let you stay in the first place. But when you work with women, this is usually what happens. They get jealous, they get upset, they get mad. All of the more reason why they didn't really want me around is because the truth was I was getting more tips than them. It wasn't my fault that they couldn't muster up the strength to talk to me like real women and stuff. She got mad because I was talking to the other GM more than her, but that wasn't my fault. I'm not going to deal with somebody who every time they talk to me has an attitude. If you're a manager, you need to act like a manager. I did nothing to you. There was only the reason why I was upset was because of the statement that you made towards my mother. Your manager told me that if I'm waiting on a ride, that they should wait until they come. My mother took a certain amount of medication that causes her to be drowsy. So when I called her, she wasn't really right there. For you to sit there and say that you had to wait until 12, but yesterday had me leaving the the restaurant at 11:45 lets me know that you didn't tell the truth, because when we first started working together, you told me that working there, we're supposed to leave at 10 something. My biggest issue with people in this city, they don't know how to tell the truth. And the first thing they would keep telling me, well, they're all related, so if one leaves, they all leave. To be honest with you, it's better for a family to leave than you to leave, lose new people. That's my thing. God can give you better people to be around you instead of having negative folks who are lazy, who don't do anything but sit there and gossip about their relationships. I kid you not, yesterday was a test of what really happened. God had to really show them. I am sorry that I make more money than you guys. I know how to take care of my clients. If my clients are hungry and they need to be fed, I'm taking care of them. I'm not sitting there making jokes, making inappropriate gestures. Let's also talk about the fact that the managers are possibly having an affair. The girl is years younger than her. Years younger than him. He's in his 30s, she's in her teens. What are you doing with a teenager? That's my question. because you got finger condoms in the office. You don't want nobody to know what y'all be doing on the low. But y'all mad at me why and got rid of me because of the fact that why? I was making more money? I had to. I didn't have a choice. I had stuff I had to do. I told you that I needed this for a certain amount. And see, the thing about it is, when you're in an at-will state, they get mad at you when you make money. They want to cripple you as much as they possibly can, and that is the truth. And my biggest thing is that we treat other minorities higher than we treat each other. Instead of all of us needing each other, we just act like, well, one is better than the other, and it's not the case. I get on here because I want somebody to understand the truth. It's time out for always putting on this fake face. Be honest about the fact that in the workplace, people do have affairs. Let's be honest about the fact that in the workplace, people are not willing to be honest with themselves. They only want to be honest when it affects other people. They'll have cliques, and the only reason why things are working with that clique is because you're friends with them. I don't need to be friends with kids. I'm grown. You know what I'm saying? If you're mad because you can't express how you feel, that's nobody's fault. I was trying to be nice every single time. If you had an issue with me, neither one of y'all could have pulled me over to the side except for one. And she didn't even apologize for lying. Because, see, the issue was her cousin was mad that she didn't get help for the tables being weighed. I said, okay, what's wrong with your cousin? She said they were mad at me for not helping her. But when I talked to the general manager, he said that that person was upset because you, being the manager, didn't help your cousin. So I don't understand what the issue is. You guys want me to do all these things and expect me to know what I'm doing that fast. You can't get upset because I don't know what I'm doing. If this is my first serving job, that means I need to know what I'm doing. If I don't know what I'm doing, that's why I'm asking questions. My biggest issue with jobs in this industry, and not in every industry, but in this century, we're not patient. What are we getting upset and speeding for? What is the rush? The whole purpose of orientation and training somebody is so they can know what they're doing. You can't get mad. If I told you I've never served before, then you should have said, you know what, we need people that have experience. But see, a lot of times we get these kids, and that's why I said I miss the older generation. And the reason why I said that is because people, my mother's generation and older, they'll understand and they'll have patience with you. When you got folks in my cousin's generation, they real young and they just, got grandfathered in or whatever. They just do whatever they want to do. And I have to be honest with it. I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat for nobody. I'm never going to sit there and be nice about anything. I'm never going to sit there and pretend like everything is fine. Y'all got to learn how to grow up. If you run a business, you need to know how to speak to people. You can't be weak. You can't be having affairs. You can't be having sex with them. You can't be thinking that you do all these other stuff. That's half the reason why I don't work at that one lab. Because it dawned on me that the majority of the people he works with are women. And evidently, he's got a special affair for him. My thing about it is, just because the person that you like, you happen to be sleeping with, doesn't give you the right to let them take advantage and use you. All I'm saying is, somebody be real, because I am tired of these men. These new age businessmen who let women who have no class, have no character or intelligence, run new people away. If I was such a negative person, people don't make comments after comments after comments unless somebody wants to talk to them so they can deal with it. You can't just expect somebody to deal with bad behavior. That's like if somebody says, oh, well, that person just steals. That's just what they do. The police is not going to care if that's just what they do. They're just going to look at who did what, who stole what, and why did you steal. That's what they're looking for. But not with these new age people. These new age people, they like to do inappropriate stuff. I'll show you one thing. I remember one time when my first CNA job, I was like 19 years old, and I was working with this woman in memory care. She was so sweet. She would take me home sometimes because I didn't have a ride back home because I was still kind of new to my hometown. We just moved back from the the rural city to the inner city or whatever, big city, which we would call the big city. So her husband was really attractive, and I didn't realize they were married until they happened to be walking to the car together. So every single time I was like, "Ooh, I think I want him," but I told myself, "No, he's married. Don't play with that. You're gonna get in trouble." Every time I wanted to, I kept telling myself that, and then after I realized, I was like, "Man, he ought to be ashamed with himself. He's over here flirting so much. He gonna get caught." And the moment that I think about it, the moment that I left, I mean, it was the day that I left. I remember coming back because I switched that job from doing day shift because I couldn't make it on time to not night shift, from day shift to evening shift because I was never an evening shift person. I think it was that year I decided to work evening shift from now on because day shift I was always falling asleep and I was never on time for one, and I could never get people up and get them clean in time. So what I realized is that I was like, oh, this person is doing this or this person is doing that. And I was like, you know what? Maybe it's me. But the truth is the truth, and lies are lies. When people don't want to deal with the truth, they want to lie on stuff. So here's what happened. So the CNA he was messing with came forth and went to the wife and told her that they were having an affair. And she lost it. She didn't really she didn't really understand what was going on. She said a few things and then was like, you know what? Got an attitude. Went downstairs, walked in on them having sex in the break room. That's what I'm talking about. Everybody want to sit there and get mad at the new girl when you're trying to follow the rules, but y'all having sex with each other in the basement. That's what I'm saying. All the places you can have sex, but you want to have sex in the basement. Interesting. She finds out they both get, fired except for Wanda. And then the next thing I know, all this other stuff is happening. And I'm like, what? See, this is the thing that people don't ever say. You have got to be careful who you let in your life. You know what I'm saying? Now let's fast forward to when I was working at the center before last year I got let go, and it was about to be 2 years me being there. The guy thought I was being overly mouthy, and I told him, I said, it's not about being mouthy, but if you work a certain amount of shifts, you're expecting to get paid. I can't work and then not get paid for it. I'm sorry if you think that this is just one of them countries where you can just cheat people. That's cute. But if I'm working, I'm expecting to get paid. Period. So the person gets mad, they get all upset, and they were just like, we're just gonna have to let you go. And I was like, listen, I'm not losing anything because you guys think that you're something. You guys are nothing. The people that gave me this job had an intelligence. I'm not going to sit there and let you, and that's the reason why, don't get me wrong, I don't hate you guys, but I can't stand the 70s babies because they're too much. They think they know everything. If they're not the 70s babies, they're the 60s babies. They think they are God sent. It's like you try to talk to them, they think they know it all. No, I remember when the first computer came out. Yeah, you were probably like, what, 2? Like, come on, bro. Like, it's not that I hate them. I just don't like working with them because it's like trying to talk to them. They're looking at you like, oh, you're a millennial, you're a rookie. And it's like, well, not really a millennial, but you can go for there. And they always want to put somebody down. Like, not all of them, but the majority of them. And so I was just sitting there like, you really about to sit there and say that? And I'm thinking, okay, this is the first time with this one job that I had a black supervisor. outside of McDonald's. Like, this was like the first, situation where I had a black supervisor. And I was like, and it wasn't just like a DON. It was like, he's the supervisor I got to answer to. And I'm looking like, bruh, are you serious? I'm doing the best I can, and I'm saying, well, what's the issue? What am I doing? Am I not fast enough? Is it this or is that? I'm gonna get frustrated. That's life. People have a right to give them a minute and breathe. You have a right to do that. You see what I'm saying? You have a right to be upset. You have a right to say and voice your opinions. People also have a right to deal with the fact that emergency happens. I don't understand what's wrong with folks where they think that our career is supposed to be our God. A career is just supposed to take care of the financial aspects of your life. That's it. It's not supposed to overdwell when you want to worship and go to church. It's not supposed to override when you want to spend time with your kids and your husband. Yes, you need stuff. Yes, we have to pay for things. But guess what? We're always gonna have bills. That's what my mom used to tell me. My grandmother used to tell me all the time. You gonna always have bills, but you gotta live and plan for the next day. That's what you gotta do. Keep planning until you get to that goal. So I'm trying to figure out. It's like y'all want us to be robots to our jobs. It's like if we go to the bathroom wrong, y'all gonna get upset. I can't remember how many times I used to get in trouble for just trying to go to the restroom. I'm just saying, like, y'all acting like being in this city is like high school. I gotta ask to get the hall pass just to go to the bathroom. And then with this job that I currently lost, I'm trying to figure out why I gotta tell you everywhere I go. Can we also not be real with the fact that every single situation when I was in the bathroom, this girl would come into the restroom and ask me if I'm good? I have a right to sit in the bathroom and calm down if I don't feel good. You asking me if I'm okay. I'm telling you I don't feel good. It was the time of the month and you keep acting like, "Oh, it's not the situation." But my thing is, if you have an issue with me, you should be able to be a woman and just say, it's Sabrina X, Y, and Z. But this is what happens when you have kids that are managers. You got a lot of these little kid managers who think they know what they're doing, and then come to find out they didn't know what they were doing to begin with, and they're making everybody upset except for their friends. And I'm sorry, I like work, but I want to work. That's why it's called work. You go there, you get your stuff paid. You don't sit there and have affairs on your spouses to go to work. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you don't want to be married, then just don't be married. But I'm not about to sit here and work and be cheating with somebody I don't freaking know. That's all I'm saying. Like, I can be an adult, but you gotta make it make sense. We go to work, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? And really just they nobody really wants to be honest about it. Like, when you come to think about it, nobody wants to be honest about it. Everybody be like, "Oh, I'll work this day. If I can't work that day, I can't work with my friend." It doesn't matter if I don't work with my friend. My friend is not paying my bills. My friend is just a friend. Like, folks be acting like your job is like high school when you're at the cafeteria line and you don't know who you're gonna sit next to. It's like, y'all need to really freaking grow up. Our job is just meant to be what it is, a career, a job that we go to, like a 9 to 5. But, like, literally this whole day I was agitated because I was like, not only did I waste gas, but you're not even gonna accommodate for what you just did. You could have waited until tonight and just say, okay, this is your last night. But you waited until I clocked in for an hour and basically gave me a spiel. I clocked out, and what was I doing for? Like, why is there such an attitude? And then my thing is, why every time when somebody needs to be let go, everybody in the store gets an attitude? Like, I don't understand that. Just be honest about it. And then if there's a conflict, let somebody know who the conflict was. Because to be honest with you, I did not like the extra person. I didn't like the manager because I felt like that manager was doing stuff that she got away with. Her mouth was unruly. And instead of the general manager putting his foot down, he's over there just being basically dick whipped because of course they're sleeping together, and then get mad at me when I'm over here looking. I'm not paying attention. I just know that I find it interesting how you take her place because why? She gives you good pussy? Tell the truth. Some of y'all niggas is nasty at work. Tell the truth. Y'all be sitting there sleeping with your coworkers on the low. And then when they do something that offends somebody else, when they try to tell them, hey, there's an issue, you overlook it. Because why? You got dick down? You got pee down? I mean, I wish folks would stop trying to sugarcoat what they be doing on low and just be honest about it. That way we can judge it and be like, oh, you're always going to pick her side because you guys have sex or you finger her or you do whatever you want to do. And I think it's disgusting and stupid that y'all just do whatever y'all want to do on the low. Meanwhile, everybody else has to suffer inside in silence because of the bullying. Like, people don't understand that work bullying is what happens. And then for her to sit there and pull that card like you think I'm racist or something. We've had black people that work for us before. That's not the problem. It's the problem is y'all have horrible people skills. But it is what it is. Nobody wants to admit when they're wrong. And I told them, yes, I was wrong and it's fine. But I did what I did. I said what I said. I did things I wasn't supposed to do. I owned it. But it was no need to sit there and let me go for something petty just because you won't put your foot down because you are whipped. And that's the reason why I said some men are just weak. Like, I don't understand y'all. Y'all supposed to be managers. But apparently y'all having sex with y'all waitresses. And that's the thing that I don't understand. Like, dude, that's what y'all do. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and keep thinking that this stuff is cool. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and be okay because I wasted gas. I could have been at somebody's place of business. And instead, I wasted gas thinking I was gonna work when you could have just called me and said, hey, we don't need your information anymore. We don't need this or we don't need that. But you didn't do that, now did you? It wasn't that bad that you couldn't train me more. If something didn't work, I was trying to get it. I'm sorry I wasn't fast paced enough. But guess what? That's not me. I've never been a fast paced person. I explain all the stuff that I challenge with all the time. But when you say, oh, that's cool, we can train that, then actually train. Thank God I didn't waste, money on no liquor license because it was a waste of time in the first place. I like working and I like helping people, but you can't get mad if my tips are better than the other ones. I got better tips because I paid attention to my customers. My other folks were too busy talking and running their mouth. And then when I would need help, they wouldn't even clear off the table. And I'm like, y'all so busy trying to take these other people. You could help me with the floor and all that other stuff. And then wanting me to mop one side and mop the other side. I can't mop the whole restaurant. We're going to have to divide up the stuff. We're going to have to. But instead, nobody wants to do that. You get mad, you get fussy, then have the audacity to say it was my fault, that there's tension. There was never tension. There was only going to be tension because you wouldn't put your foot down to tell them, hey, you need to apologize. Instead, you got rid of me because you knew that basically if you make one of them upset, then they all walk away because you don't have the balls to deal with the fact that you guys have horrible skills with people. I can't tell you how many people have not only, and then the fact that y'all don't clean the meat right. Your stuff should not smell like intestines, and it does. Like, I'm over here, I was about to sit there and promote the restaurant, and then y'all sit there and do that. Y'all don't deserve no business. And let me tell you something, your business is not going to flourish because of the way you treat your customers. Not so much with the way you treat me, it's the way you treat your customers, bro. Don't sit there and pretend like you guys just have the best place in town. There's people that make better food than you will ever. One, because they got real soul. One, because they actually know how to cook food. Everything is not making them run to the restroom. That should have told you that in the beginning. Like, if something is making you sick, it's because you're not cleaning your food right. You know what I'm saying? Somebody just didn't want no lawsuit. That's really what it is. What's wrong with you? Like, really, that really ticked me off. Like, why would you go into the bathroom and ask me if I'm okay if you saw me go to the restroom in the first place? I have to use the restroom. Are you serious? Like, I've never met somebody so narcissistic and nasty. And then when she shook my hand, wipes her nose before she even goes to the kitchen to wash her hands. She didn't even wash her hands. She just wiped her nose and grabbed my hand as if I wasn't wanting to receive her germs. Like, dude, you probably got coronavirus. Y'all nasty. I'm just saying. Y'all don't wash your hands when you clean the meat, and then you wonder why people are getting sick. It's because of stuff that y'all do. Y'all gotta sit there and wear hairnets or something. I don't understand how you can be a manager and not wear a hairnet. You got a whole beard and a whole head of hair, but you just got a mask to cover. I don't know if that stuff is gonna fall in my food or not. Then you got kids eating over the food. Like, is that what y'all do? Is that the wretched stuff that y'all do? But let me do something and it's a situation. But you don't want me to put race on it because you claim not to be racist. So what is it? What is the excuse for why you couldn't have the balls to basically correct your people? It's the same thing when it happened at the lab. When I told them about the situation with those two processors, y'all sat there on your butt. Why? Because you were screwing her. And I told the truth. Yeah, I told the lab technician. I said it. Yes, I said it because my thing about it is only time a man is going to take up for a woman to that degree, they sleeping together. They sleeping together. Don't nobody really care about a stranger they don't know. If they've only known that person for so many times, she doing something on the low, sucking through the pants or something. You doing something. But anyway, I'm not trying to bring up a whole lot of stuff, but I'm just here because I needed to clear my mind. And the truth of the matter is, people don't like to tell the truth for nothing. And I just wanted to tell you, kids, if you get a job, know the signs of a person that's abusing their powers as a boss. And that's on another episode of SMS News Channel. We'll be back with more.